Hello, you guys. It's Invite the Light coming to you again. This time with a bit of a quick reading. I think it'll be quick on Kim and Kanye. So I'm just going to do the clearing of these cards, and these kind of wanted to come out. So let's see what. Oh, wedding and express your love. So I feel like the relationship is still going to be going strong for a little while, which is good. Huh. Oh, interesting stuff here. I feel like behind the scenes, kind of, there's a little bit of a shift. I feel like Kim might have been a little bit more into the relationship, but now, with her, it seems like maybe she might not be feeling well. And I'm not saying if she's sick or anything, but just obviously after everything that Kanye's done in the last week or whatever, his quote unquote rant on Saturday Night Live, and then talking about the 14th Amendment, um, she might really be like tired from stress. And I think that he may be really, that might be a little bit of a wake up call for him. He may be now supporting her now, you know. So let's just see what's going on with the two of these people. Let's see what's going on with Kim and Kanye. I really don't think that she wants to break up with him. All right, let's see what's happening here. This is interesting. Give me 1 second, you guys. I feel like Kim was feeling really kind of good, but also in a certain on a certain level with these cards, like feeling emotionally alone in the whole situation. She's like happy. I feel like she's emotionally fulfilled by him, but I mean, I feel like he's like not there somehow. And then he does this thing where he's like isolating kind of the both of them from society. So they may have had increasingly huge discussions, fiery discussions about it, but it may be followed up with by hot ass sex between the two of them. I feel like over time she's been trying to be patient with him and diplomatic, but there's this chance that she really may go off on him if he continues on with this, and if he continues being very, very combative. That's what that looks like to me. There's a lot of hope though between the two of them. Like there's really a lot of love and connection. You know, I really feel like she absolutely adores Kanye, and that Kanye is someone behind closed doors, and with her is someone we will never know. We will never know the amazing, sweet availability of this individual, this loving individual. We will never know. We will never know it. There's also this factor of fame that she feels really trapped. Oh, God. There's also this other thing where this other issue where someone feels really trapped in the wedding, in the marriage, sorry, in the marriage because of the amount of fame that they have. I feel like he feels a little bit trapped, but she's trying to hold massive amounts of space for him. He is like even kind of gone from this reading in a way. I mean, there's parts of him that are definitely there. There's parts of him that definitely love. But I mean, his being here and this level is not even around. And it's just aftermath, aftermath, aftermath that she's just been dealing with this. She's been like the shield. She's been taking the hits. Her fame can afford the hits. But her spirit, I don't know. You know, she's starting to get a little sick over this too. Um, there's a lot of issues going on in her mind about this, you know, because this is not her style. But to the outside world, to her family, oh, okay, okay, this is something else. To the outside world and her, um, she's going to be unapologetic, I think, or she's just going to start really defending. There are those two elements for her. All I see is Kim in this reading, actually. All right. So what's her? Let's see. I feel like she's praying that this situation, you know, for one thing, I feel like he's like not home in some certain way, emotionally especially, but physically, like he's away somewhere. He's creating a lot. Um, I'm not sure. Whatever. I don't know if he's working with some higher forces or something like that too. And he's just really like off into orbit or something like that. And she's just kind of waiting for him. She gets it though. Whatever it is, it's a little bit. It seems a little bit weird to us here. It seems a little strange, like really, like way out in orbit or something like that. He is. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if it's like something with consciousness, something I can't even put my finger on it. It's like something a little bit that we would think is weird, but it's some high level of meditation and altered states, and but he's like going high with something. I don't know what the hell he's doing. He could be experimenting with dream states or something like that. It's some shit that's even a little bit strange to her, but she kind of understands. She just wants to. She really cares for this individual. She loves him tremendously. Love, love, love. She may even think about having another child. But I know that she does want to have another child, but she's really, really worried about this. Um, she's also worried about her love for him. She could be worried about his inner child as well. Hmm, very interesting. This is all Kim. All Kim. Kim Kardashian. What else is going on? She got this though. Listen, this is how Kim is gonna stick in this marriage as far as I see in these cards. The cards are for entertainment purposes. She could change her mind due to free will, but how I see it today with these cards, she believes in this person, in her own personal realm. This person is deeply sweet, kind, past any kind of anything that we could fathom. This is something deep. Like she understands this man to a certain extent, his heart. Um, she doesn't understand him, you know, like the rest of him, but there's his core, let's say his core. She gets his sweetness and his innocence and his vulnerability, almost like a child. You guys, not like an immature child, childlike innocence. She got this though. She's again an extremely great businesswoman. I do believe that she will be doing things. She probably will be doing things on her own for a very long time. You know what? It's always been that way for her, so maybe it's not the end of the world. Um, Here with this Ten of Earth, she's um the money is there for them. She's just holding down the fort to make sure they don't lose money and also lose their union. She's the basis of her other family, you know, her nu not her nuclear family, her blood family, immediate family, I guess you could say. Um, you know, so she's always been alone in things to a certain extent. So she's kind of manifesting this a little bit. So Kim, if you're listening and you do want more of Kanye to show up, you have to be willing on an unconscious level to be able to have a relationship that does not require you to be solo samurai so much. I feel like you kind of want this on an unconscious level, and that's why I kind of manifest with him not being there 100% because you kind of like to be alone in certain things. You don't want to be fully alone, but there is this area and space where you want to be alone. So if you want to enjoy more of him, you'll have to break that down in yourself. You'll have to break down that barrier. It is fun to be alone, to a certain extent. Not lonely, but alone. Um, and so that's what I see. I see for her. An eight of air was she will be running things, I think, on her own. She will be running the brand on her own. She's very strong. She knows that she can hold the brand, can withstand what's going on, has been able to withstand what's going on. It's amazing. But it will. Um, and she, for once, I think, is not going to kowtow to anybody. I feel like she knows who her husband is. I feel like this is not like a racist. When I say racist, I mean racist on his part. Um, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like maybe something like Nick Cannon said is he's an awful communicator sometimes. So his ability to communicate in a way that people understand it in a way that will land right is like way off, way off. But she really knows the earth and the trueness of him, and his true intentions are really good. She also knows that he's afflicted with something. It's this dream. There's something, this off into orbit dream, altered state, something's affecting him mentally. Like I had told you, and I'm not talking about this whole thing where Kanye is saying that he's like bipolar. I personally don't believe he's bipolar. I believe he's just dealing with a lot of different energies and timelines or whatever. It feels to me like he's healing some of that, even though he came out of his face all crazy, um, in a very unacceptable way. Oh, that could be the last bit of whatever he's working out. Again, I mean, they're very, at the end of the day, she's very happy. I mean, she's handling stuff on her own. She loves him. I feel like she wants to renew something. There's some part of their marriage or something where she may have to transform for now into this to fit his mold of what, the life stage that he's at right now. I do believe there will be a transformation that he's going through as well, and therefore there will be one that she's going through in and on this journey with him. I do believe he's changing and being reborn into something else, but this is something that's not the stuff that he's been showing on Saturday Night Live and stuff like that. I think this is some fucking shit. He's weird ass energies he's trying to break out of, like mental weirdness, that he's trying to get control over. Definitely, Yeah, I mean, he's going through some shit behind the closed doors and stuff like that, but I feel like this is something spiritual and emotional in some other dimension. I don't even know how to explain this to you guys without it sounding weird. He's going through some weird shit. He is a very different person. And that's the reason why he's kind of been able to get away. I don't want to say get away, but he's been able to survive through these outbursts that are really outrageous, is because people know at his core he's been amazing in the past, and his overall energy field at its core, people are unconsciously processing. So they would never put him like in the same category as Hitler and even Trump, you know? Like people who look at Trump and are like, this man is just, a few steps short of being a monster. Or maybe he is a monster. They don't put Kanye in that light, and that's because most of his energetic integrity is kind of in the right place, but he's dealing with some demons, I guess you could say. I don't know. I don't see anything demonic, so I don't want you guys thinking that it's literally demonic stuff. It's not that, but I'm saying like inner, all these extra. He's got a lot of fucking extra energies involved in his body that should not be there. you know but he's getting through it, so congratulations to that, and she's going to hold strong for that. So she's kind of, she is definitely sticking up for her marriage. She knows the ship is going through rough waters. It may go through rough waters for another couple of years, but it looks like she's really going to stick in there while he um, goes through his transformation. This relationship is definitely something with the Wheel of Fortune here, definitely something that is was definitely, let's say, in the cards. Definitely something, their cycle together is something that was predestined, let's say. I have heard otherwise about them, but I am reading, I've seen a couple of other videos from other readers that they've read that he was originally really supposed to be with somebody else, but ended up being with her. That could be due to different contracts and stuff like that. And he deals in, it seems like not so much anymore. It feels like he's collapsed a lot of that stuff, but he was like partially in other dimensions. I know that sounds crazy to y'all, and I'm not going to say much more because I feel like y'all won't understand. But he was like fragmented. That's why all those rants and all this and just this inability to manage emotional energy, it feels like he's kind of closing that. But this one vessel that he really needs to close, like the one that happened on Saturday Night Live, he needs to close that. That one's going to be a fight for him. That's just going to take a lot of his own personal effort. And Kanye, if you happen to be listening, you claim 100% of your divine sovereignty over anything else and then dispel it. Claim your sovereignty. Break contracts with anything that has any hold to your sovereignty. That's it. You're done. You're done. And you're only allowing great good. And you only want to be the vessel of great, great good in your life. And you don't want this interference that you've had. Because Kanye is a very powerful person. He's had to, by closing some of these vessels, he has closed up some of his higher knowledge or whatever, but it's still encoded inside of him. It won't be the same access that he has as before, but he's safer that way because there's too much interference. I don't know, if you guys will understand that. Fuck it. It is what it is. Okay. As weird as it sounds, it probably will make sense to somebody out there. Okay. So we've got here the Four of Air, the Messenger of Earth. I really feel like obviously he's more under the weather. Again, with the Four of Air and the Messenger of Earth, a lot of him is just like fragmented. He's kind of talked about this actually with the streams of consciousness. He's talked about this actually. So I'm pleased that I'm actually reading this correctly. he's got, like, a lot of parts of him just, like, not grounded. He needs to ground a lot more, so, that's very difficult because it's hard to be for some people like him, he's a sensitive soul, so it's hard to physically stay grounded on the earth where people are being killed or being systematically held back. We've seen that to kind of know that about him, but how people do cope with this sometimes is to escape the body. So parts of them are not fully in the body. For him to pull himself 100% back in, it's taken a lot of energy. And there's been some interference there as well. Not yeah, interference is never good. So he'll need to call for some intervention into that interference. Nine of Earth. I feel like Kim is holding space for him, but she doesn't fully understand what's going on, or she's just trusting. She's just trusting. She's really, really trusting. And she knows the cycle is going to end. She is trusting. She is waiting because she knows this is her home. He is her home. They have a family. She knows he's very, very formidable as well, but also really rude with his words. But I do believe that is like something where he is I don't want to say possessed. There's a lot of interference. Even sometimes he can be very withdrawn from her at times, but she still holds this flame for him, and that's kind of good. That's how they get. Um, that's how they manage. She will hold the flame, and that is her intention to hold the flame to keep him thawed out. Thank goodness for her. You know what? Thank goodness for her. Because this individual has so much potential here. To really, as much as we don't think so, as much as he's like spewing some craziness right now, at his core, when he's got all of this noise out of him and all of his afflictions, let's say, healed. But this is a job that he has to do on his own, so that's why we saw the kind of that weirdness earlier with this levels of consciousness and altered states and stuff like that. He's got to bring himself back into one. He's got too much stuff in his energy. He needs to clear his energy field, and things are going to fight because they've been there for a while and they've been, just interfering. But this man in his proper form, in his own soul form, she knows he is amazing, and she's almost like a patron saint, like a guardian angel in a way for his mission. I mean, if he's able to really get into his element, he will be such a plus to this earth. And so I know that she must know this, and we must, if that comes about, we'll be thanking her in advance for really holding space for him in order, because he will benefit millions when he is in his, and I'm not talking about this make America great again. He won't be talking that shit. He will snap the fuck out of that. The Eight of Fire. Let's see what's going on with that, and then I'm going to end this out. I feel like, because the Five of Swords is here, I feel like his experience, eventually he'll talk about it in order to help others who have gone through this. Yeah, there's definitely something holding him in the spiritual realm, damn it. He's like caught in suspended animation in some places. This is a really strange fight for him, but this man is powerful. It's almost like this information shouldn't be shared. Because he could be so very beneficial, and that's all he truly wants to be, but there's a lot of spiritual interference. And 15, it says temptation. Yeah, to me, it's a lot of spiritual interference. But there's some kind of contracts that he needs to end. He needs to end, if Kanye, if you're watching this, you need to end all known and unknown contracts in all times, all dimensions, and all directions of time. They're not serving your highest destiny, highest purpose, highest benevolent purpose on this earth. You need to remove any contingent contracts for if those original contracts are broken. I know this shit sounds crazy, but this is the stuff I'm getting for you. And the contingent contracts that come in based on you breaking these contracts, any kind of retaliatory stuff, like all this shit will go away if you just, just cancel it all out. All those, extra contract, any and all things that are not serving you, and any extra backup contracts as well. Cancel that stuff out and get into your highest purpose and really get off this, you know. Kim knows this. Kim, you have to hold space for this. I think you guys need to look into more meditation. Eventually, maybe some of that Kundalini yoga. Maybe. I'm not sure if that may be the greatest idea for Kanye, but it may be for you in order to understand him a little bit more. There's this temptation card again. What kind of energies does Kim need to be in? There's definitely a high level of transformation. There may be some levels of initiation for him to go through. So that's a really rough time. But it seems like Kim is in the middle of it. I'm going to let this go because it's getting too awkward for the average person. And let's just see if we can get something a little more down to earth here. Yeah, I do feel like she's going to be doing the brunt of the breadwinning, little jobs, things like that, maybe even appearances here and there. But her gut feeling is to stay with this man, I believe. So let's just see really quickly where they are. Kim's energy. They both are taking a look at his so-called afflictions and stuff like that, but there's this staying optimistic under that as well. And there's a constant like reconciliation. They may be like, yeah, again, express your love in wedding. I feel like they're either renewing their vows to each other or reconciling to really stay together. Because she is a support system, as much as he wants to be in this thing where people think he needs to be living here or there in order to be a certain way. I mean, he can still be 100% of himself. It's about just really getting grounded. It's not about the fact that he's in an interracial relationship and all this. Yeah. So anyway, that is the reading there. Kim and Kanye, I wish you all well. If you guys are interested in a reading, just contact me, invitethelight1@gmail.com. Thank you.